Well, a very good afternoon to you all from the unofficial commentary of the 100th East Lancashire Derby between Parch Rivals Burnley and Blackburn Rovers being played at Turf Moor. They haven't had to wait too long into the season for this first clash of the season. 16,000 here have turned up at Turf Moor to witness hopefully a really intriguing derby fixture. And can Burnley end 34 years of hurt by beating their local rivals 12 miles west of the M65. Two teams just lining up over on the far side. We're going to give you the two teams, starting with Burnley then. Tom Eaton and the regular goalkeeper in goal. It's Trippier, Duff, Sheckle and me, the back four. Scott Arfield, who's impressed very well in the midfield. Dean Marnie, Dave Jones and Michael Kitely's just signed for the season from Stoke in the midfield, with Danny Ings and Sam Vokes, the two men on red hot scoring form, the two men up front. 4-4-2 they will play. For Blackburn, it's five in the midfield for them. Keeney's in the goalkeeper. Kane, Dan, Hanley and Spur are the back four. The midfield five, Marshall, Lowe, Tierney, the attacking midfielder, Evans and King. And the lone striker, Jordan Rose. That's one Burnley really have to watch there. If they keep Rose quiet, Burnley, Blackburn, they will surely win the derby match. The substitutes, Kishak, Lafferty, Stanislas, Edgar, Stock, Tracy and Long for Burnley, Eastwood, Kilgowan, Williamson, Taylor, Marrow, Morris and Judge for Blackburn. Well, this is a real we hope for a great Lancashire hot pot to liven proceedings here on this Saturday lunchtime. Maybe only be 16,000, but it sounds more like 46,000 at Turf Moor, quite honestly. Danny Ings and Sam Vokes, the two men in form at the moment for Burnley. They do want to watch Jordan Rose. He has scored a few goals in the last couple of games as well. 34 years, 1979, in fact, March 1979, a year when Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister. Arsenal won the FA Cup, and Nottingham Forest won the first of their two European Cups. That's how long it has been for Burnley to taste Derby Day success over their neighbours. They nearly did it back in March, but some poor officiating, especially on their equaliser, Blackburn's equaliser, were done, and two of the Blackburn players were literally 3 yards offside, which allowed them to go on and get an equaliser they scarcely deserved that day. Will justice prevail for Sean Dyche's Burnley, or will Gary Bowyer, who's now settling down as Blackburn's boss this season, sneak another Derby Day victory? You'd like to think it's the Clarets today. They came so mighty close in March at Ewood. The referee is Craig Pawson. He's going to have a big job on this afternoon. These two sides do not like each other one jot. It's going to be Blackburn to get us underway. Burnley in the claret and blue. Blackburn in the blue and white. A long ball forward towards King, but it's going to go into touch for a goal kick to Burnley. To be taken by Tom Heaton in the all yellow strip to my left hand side. Blackburn attacking the goal to the left, Burnley to the right in this first half. Great atmosphere for a game that should have a lot of feistiness in it, that's for sure. It's Ben Mee getting it forward, long down the far side. Ings challenging with it, and then Jones trying to help it on. Duff wins the header from the long ball. Josh King now on the near side, back again, forward it goes. It's going to be a real battle on that near side between Trippier and Josh King. Here's Michael Kitely making his home debut for Burnley today, signed for the rest of the season from Stoke City, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers player. Won promotion with Wolves back in 2009 when they ended up being the champions of the Championship. All forward there towards Jordan Rose, but Shackle deals with that one brilliantly. Burnley don't give away too many goals. They've only lost once this season. Up until now, that's given away to Rose, but the flag has already got up in any case anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Only one defeat, Burnley. That was to Brighton down at the Amex. That was in controversial circumstances where Tom Eaton was partially sent off. Free kick to Burnley then. The Clarets, Shackle to take. Short to Marnie. Marnie over the halfway line to Trippier. Trippier just knocking it back to Mike Duff. Long ball forward again towards Sam Vokes, trying to flick it on. Ings trying to win the second ball. Failed to, but it's still with Burnley. Half-field to Trippier. Trippier puts it in first time towards Sam Vokes. Goes up with the goalkeeper, Jake Keane. And he's got into touch. And that's a good first time cross there from Trippier. Really asking a lot there of the goalkeeper, who struggled a bit there against Sam Vokes. That's going to be a bit of a battle there. Sam Vokes, he can't win balls in the air there. And the goalkeeper was actually fouled in the incident, so Jake King takes a free kick rather than a goal kick. It's inside his penalty area. Long ball, but it's headed away by Burnley. There's Grant Hanley now inside his own half. Plays it out to Josh King on the near side. And against Kieran Trippier here. Has to check back. Now Kearney. Spur back to Kearney. Kearney again looking for options. Has to play it out to the far side. Ball back to Jake Keane. Oh, it's been charged down by Vokes! And it only went wide by about a foot. Only a foot away from going in front in the derby. Jake King now, a real aberration, kicking it straight at Sam Vokes. On another day, that would have ricocheted the right side of the post. That was a silly thing for the goalkeeper, Jake King, to do. But it could have turned out also good for Burnley there. Lucky boy, Jake King, lucky boy. Well, he's in his best scoring form for quite a while, Sam Vokes. That's surely, that's certainly not in doubt, that's for sure. But still, no goals. Played nearly 5 minutes of the derby. Burnley have had the best chance so far. Free kick for foul by Scott Dan on Sam Vokes. Free kick to Burnley in another, in what could possibly be a very promising position here. Kieran Trippier was one of the candidates over this set piece routine. Burnley looking at the more hungry of the two teams, as you can see. Full delay coverage of this 100th East Lancashire derby. And what they used to call the Cotton Mills derby. It's going to be Trippier from about 30 yards. Going to be right footed just to the left of centre. Trippier with the right foot and just cleared the crossbar by a couple of inches. That was a really good free kick by the right back Kieran Trippier of Burnley. A Cristiano Ronaldo style run up. Struck it really well there. The Blackburn wall certainly broke very easily. And Jake Keane having to dive to make sure he covered the crossbar. That was a really good hit from Kieran Trippier. Blackburn have had two lucky escapes in the space of 3 minutes at the start of this first half. Long kick from King. Keane. Ball shepherded back by Shackleton. The other goalkeeper there, Tom Eaton. 3-0. And then last match against Derby. And it's King in his own half. Now Rhodes over on the far side now for Blackburn. Bandaged up, he had a bad arm. Had to pull out of the Scotland squad. And here's a chance. Kearney was waiting in the middle for the cross. Blackburn waited okay down that flank. Burnley sorted out. Now Ings. Free kick. Moving forward, he's supporting midfielders that broke into the penalty area beyond him. At times that's going to have to happen. He plays the strike up against centre half at times. He will drop off at times. Midfielders have to break beyond him. So free kick to Burnley. We've played 7 minutes. And still no score yet. Burnley have come close with 2 free kick. Certainly with 1 free kick set piece that went just over the top of the bar, and then the goalkeeper's aberration that could have been perhaps easily punished. There's a foul there by Kirtley and fouled. It's it was Marshall who went down. I think he was looking for it a little bit there, Marshall. So a free kick to Blackburn. And it's not come to anything. Burnley were able to clear their lines rather comfortably. Hanley gets the ball away there for Blackburn. Rhodes trying to get in behind. Keeps the ball in. So gets it half away. This Kearney. Now low to King. They've got to watch King down at flank. Burnley did. And that's another free kick. Well, this sort of silly challenges continue from the Blackburn players. That was silly from Jason Lowe. That's a yellow card. In a normal game, he would have seen yellow for that. I think Mr. Pawson, if he keeps this Mr. Pawson, I think he's got to book players because there's no room for it. We want to see a free-flowing game. We've seen a good game so far. 10 minutes gone. Heaton with the free kick for Burnley. Into touch for Robert's throw. To a Blackburn throw. So no goals yet. Now Rhodes for Burnley. They look a very good outfit. You can be rest assured of that. Burnley, they do play at a very attractive style of play. Here's me now for Burnley to Dave Jones. Jones in field again to Kirtley. And they're just keeping the ball really well, Burnley. That's been a feature of the opening 10 minutes. They keep the ball well. When they have possession, the Clarets, they do keep the ball well. Arfield. That's good skill from Arfield. 25 yards from goal. Trippier now on the near side for the cross. And almost an own goal. Tommy Spur nearly knocking it into his own net. And Burnley here have had more than 3 presentable opportunities in the opening 10 minutes to have led in this derby. And Tommy Spur really was dicey with death. Corner to Burnley, who are really up for this derby. You can see who wants to, just by looking at this game, if you are watching this on the television, you could tell who was the better team at the moment. Burnley have been far munching this game more than Blackburn have in the opening stages, although the corner from Jones was a little bit wayward, really. Bit poor that from Jones. He's better than that. Goal kick to Blackburn.
Fantastic player for Burnley. I'm surprised in many ways he's moved into the Premier League.
Sean Dyche seemed to be quite pleased with the first 10 minutes of the game. Keane will take the goal kick. Right footed over the halfway line. Rose tries to jump, but he's been beaten in the air by Duff. And then Burnley win a couple of headers, and he's back inside the Blackburn half. And Hanley shows Catley a little bit inside and out, but he's able to get it the ball away. And Jordan Rose swivels and goes down. Well by Duff, according to the referee. I think Rose has gone down a little bit too easily again. One or two of the Blackburn players have just been a little bit theatrical, and that's not great to see. But that's not great for the game. But they have a free kick in a pretty dangerous position if you're a Burnley fan at the moment. There are two at the moment in a wall that's been erected by goalkeeper Tom Heaton. Kearney's going to take the free kick. In fact, he's going to float one in, and it's come to nothing. Scott Downwards the man forward, and Sam Vokes in defence, getting back in there, doing a bit of good defensive work there. Sunny's out. Lovely late summer's afternoon in East Lancashire. Temperatures something around in about mid-teens. But the temperature is going to be scorching high out there on that pitch. Here's Josh King now on the Blackburn left. He's lucky to get past two players there. More down to luck than skill there. Josh King kept the move alive there for Blackburn. Evans to Jason Lowe. Lowe was shackled there quite good there by Scott Arfield, getting his body in the way and just getting the challenge in. Blackburn still have it. The ball, one ball forward, it's way overhit by Marshall, and a goal kick to Burnley. Approaching the quarter hour mark. Burnley have had the better of it, no doubt about it. Mike Duff now for Burnley, getting it back to Tom Heaton. Heaton takes a couple of touches and can just burst this ball forward. Trippier knocking it forward down the right hand side. Arfield chasing this against Spur and winning across. Spur, that's good defending, that's good play, good forward play there from Arfield, forcing the defender to concede the throw in deep inside his own half, almost over with his own penalty area. Burnley have it in just the right position. Trippier back to Marnie, back to Trippier. Trippier got the cross in. Blackburn just about got it away, and then the ball fell for Marnie, who couldn't control it. He's got into touch, and it's a throw to Blackburn. Tommy Spur getting a hostile reception, as the Burnley fans do. Burnley should be happy with their performance so far. In quarter of an hour, they've had the better of it. 12 miles, the only thing that separates the two towns is Accrington. In between, they're having hard times at the moment in League Two, yet without a win under James Beattie. Look more like you have to sit, been a foul there. So a free kick to Blackburn, which is probably quite lucky to get, really. Anyway, Kearney's going to take the free kick again for Blackburn. Reynolds is in there, Hanley's in there. Danny's forward as well. This is from the left-hand side. He's the left-hand side as he looks. And Ben Mee gets it away, and it's going to be... In fact, there's a foul there on Ben Mee, so a free kick to Burnley anyway. Well, it's been a lively 16-17 minutes, shall we say. Burnley have had 3 more than presentable opportunities to have hit the lead in this match, which they haven't done so far. But here's Danny Ings now for the Clarets. Here's Jones, back to Ings on the left-hand side, crossing to the penalty area, and cut out by goalkeeper Jake Keane, wearing an all-green strip today. He's been given the opportunity to play as a striker since Charlie Austin left the club, and he's rewarded Sean Dyche. He's in great form in pre-season, as I said at the start of the season when we commentated on the opening fixture of the season against Bolton, how lively he looks, and took his goal even though he got a big deflection and he needed a huge slice to look on the opening day. But he's been in great form. Top scorer, Sam Vokes has chipped in with a few. And the one thing I've noticed, the big difference from Eddie Howe's Burnley and Sean Dyche's Burnley. Sean Dyche's Burnley are a lot more close-knit, they're a lot more tight, they're very tough to break down. Here's Arfield now down the right-hand side. We'll break off for a minute. Arfield with a shot. Palmed away by the goalkeeper Keane. Comes to him, shoots. Goalkeeper palms round the post. And Burnley here are having all the chances. And Jake Keane keeping Blackburn on parity for the moment anyway. Burnley really, now you see, it's good left-footed shot there. The goalkeeper had to get down pretty low and then to save it, but he could only parry it into the path of Ings, who, if I was being hypercritical, hit it straight at the goalkeeper. But Burnley have a corner, tightly to swing it in from the near side. Vokes trying to win the header. He won it, but he misheaded it. It comes to Arfield on the left-hand side, over on the far side for Burnley. And they force another corner. Burnley really going for the throat here in the opening 20 minutes. And you have to say, I don't think there's any much argument. The first 20 minutes has certainly belonged to the Clarets. Shackle and Duffel both forward from the corner of Jones to be taken from the left-hand side. Keane flapped at it and got away with it. If there had been a Claret-shirted player right behind him, he would have had a 3 chance of a goal. Instead, it's Josh King at the other end, and Trippier now having to get back in defensive duties. King trying to shake off Duff, but he can't shake him off. Good defending by the veteran Burnley defender who celebrates his testimonial year at Turf Moor this year. £30,000 he cost nearly 10 years ago from Cheltenham Town. And that's a mistake by the defender. Will that go into touch? Dan sees that he doesn't from a Blackburn perspective. Folks tries to nip in there. I'm just going to go back to what I was saying a moment ago about the difference between Eddie Howe's Burnley and Sean Dyche's Burnley now. Sean Dyche's Burnley is a more, well, I'll say Eddie Howe's first. Eddie Howe's Burnley 12 months ago, they were scoring goals. Obviously, the goals of Austin always helped, and but they were conceding quite a lot. They were conceding like 2 or 3 a match, and then when Howe left and Sean Dyche came in and replaced him, he tightened up the defence, had to make sure that Burnley stayed up last season, and this year he's reaping the benefits despite losing Charlie Austin. Here's Ings, he bursted into the penalty area, gets his cross, and it was turned away there by Lowe, right inside the penalty area. If folks had got in there, they had a free shot at Jake Keane there to make it 1-0. Danny Ings is looking lively in this opening 20 minutes or so from a Burnley viewpoint. He really is. I have to say, if you were judging this on a boxing contest and you were scoring this contest, this bout, if you like, Burnley would be winning on points. Because they have really thrown the early initiative at Blackburn Rovers. They really have. They took the game to them. Still no bookings. We've played 23 minutes. We're nearly halfway through the first half. Here's Dean Marley picking it up for Burnley. Gets Trippier going on that near side. Trippier gets the first time cross in. Headed away by Lowe. And then only half cleared by Blackburn. They needed 2 bites to clear it properly. Kearney now over the halfway line. Trippier should have the legs on King. But King is out. Boxed him here. Danger here for Burnley. King's cross. Rose was in. Inside the 6-yard area, but he couldn't make hay on it. Trippier really found wanting there on a one-on-one. They have to be wary, Burnley, of the counter-attack of Blackburn. So we've played almost halfway through the first half. Burnley 0, Blackburn 0. And foul there. But Vokes is down in a heap over on that far side. So Vokes is going to be alright after that little collision. He's a tough man, Sam Vokes, you know that. Sean Nash, I've just seen there on the screen, just giving marked up some extra instructions there. The way he was treated at Watford was an absolute disgrace. He had him playing really good football down there. Then the new owners came in, ousted him, replaced him with Gianfranco Zola, and he's proving the doubt. Sean Dyche has found his feet now at a club. I think it suits in this style of play Burnley have got at the moment. He's the right manager for Burnley. There was a lot of people in and around the town that were sceptical of his appointment. They wanted a better manager or a more bigger name manager. But considering the job he did at Watford under such tight resources down there at Vicarage Road before the new owners came in down there, I think he was a very good choice. I must admit, I did have my doubts at first when he came to the club, but he's picked them up. He's made them a very tight-knit bunch of players, and more important than that, he's got them playing. He's got them playing for him and putting their hearts and their sleeves into the side. Someone they didn't really show enough under the previous manager. Well, as I said, his tactics were a little suspect and possibly too open. Here's Michael Campbell now on the far side for Burnley. Crosses into towards the penalty area. Arfield looked as if he was pushed there, and then Marley's shot cannon up Arfield. And on another day that could have gone in, but I thought Spur was holding Arfield there from the first instance. Let's have a look at it. I'm just looking at it again on the replay. The cross got a deflection. I think he's pushing. I think he's pulling Arfield back from where I can see. Blackburn, I think, in my opinion, very lucky not to give a spot kick away. Trippier getting that one forward. It's Marley. And Marley now down this right hand side, just slipped there as he canties across. He's given a corner, came up a Blackburn body last. Well, right inside that first 25 minutes of the game, and still we await that first goal. Well, it's been a good first half, certainly enjoyable from the point of view that Clarks have had. Here's Catley with the corner in towards the penalty area. It's come out again to Ben Mee over on that far side. Mee keeps it alive and he plays it to Jones. Jones. And Marshall right on his tail. The cross in from the right. from the left roller from Ben Mee, which turned, it's gone out of play and into touch, and a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers. Just half possession, 57% Burnley, 43% Blackburn. So Burnley have had the better of the possession, and they've had, certainly in my opinion, the better of the opportunities. So Jay Keane in an all green jersey will kick away right-footed for Blackburn, who have been second best throughout this first half up until now. Lunchtime kick-off. Blackburn fans came in 2 hours before the kick-off due to security arrangements. Travelled in a convoy of must have been at least 2, maybe 300 coaches and double-decker buses. This is the norm for the derby fixtures. Obviously, the game being put to a lunchtime kick-off, so not to interfere with the fans don't drink. Anyway, back with Burnley now, and it's Arfield inside the penalty area from Arnie's flick. And Spur prevents the corner, and a goal kick is given to Blackburn Rovers. I have to say the referee has handled things rather well. On the occasions where he's tempted to book a player, he's resisted. Blackburn nearly got relegated last year for the second year in a row. They were a point off doing that at the end of it. Burnley, who had a little wobble towards the end of the season, finished a very respectable 11th, 2 places on the season before, where they finished 13th under Eddie Howe in his first season. A good atmosphere inside the ground. A few empty seats around, which is always a little bit disappointing. Here's Ings though, edge of the penalty area. He has it now on the far side. Crosses in from the far side. It's going to not reach anybody there. Badly overhit, and it's into touch for a goal kick. And Alistair Campbell, the former Labour Director of Communications and a big Burnley fan, brought up in Keighley in the early 60s. Heard about the 1960 championship winning team, and he was hooked on the Clarets ever since. And a lot of teams that he could have supported in the area, like Bradford or Leeds or Manchester United or the Manchester clubs in that sort of area. But he wanted to be a Burnley fan, and he's been a loyal one ever since. And it's always a special occasion, this sort of game, where every famous Burnley fan, and certainly all Burnley fans, want to be there. And Alistair Campbell is certainly one of the most famous fans. In fact, Prince Charles is actually an honorary Claret, and admitted Burnley was admitted at an engagement was that Burnley is his favourite football team. And that's a tingle down every Burnley fan's spine, that Prince Charles the Claret. Back to the game now. It's Kiteley now for the Clarets. Back to Mee, and back to Kiteley again. Crossing from the left-hand side. Vokes was charging in, and Handley nearly scored an own goal. It's a corner. Kiteley's crossing was a beaut, and it was in towards that penalty spot area, right into the danger zone. Handley on another day that could have hooked into his own net. Vokes was waiting with real intent there. Kiteley has gone across to take the corner from the near side. Headed away, only half away. Mee tries to get the shot back in. It comes to Vokes, and then comes to Arfield, who shoots over the top of the bar, and the goal kick to Blackburn. Half an hour gone, 0-0 still. Sean Dyche's team, certainly the men who are in the ascendancy here. Can they take chances now? They've had 5 attempts to 1, Burnley, and I've had 2 of them on target. Blackburn, unsurprisingly, have had none on target as yet. Just shows you how that first half an hour's gone. All been Burnley. King kicks long over the halfway line. King flicks on. Trying to find Rose, but Duff was there first for Burnley. And now Vokes has it inside the Blackburn half, and it's Arfield back to Vokes. Vokes infield to Dave Jones. Jones turning again. Or rather, Kitely rather. That's the cross from Kitely. Again into no man's land. Blackburn can win the throw and just see the attack out now. Burnley with a win today will go top of the championship. So at stake here, promotion would mean £120 million for any of the three clubs that do get promoted. The three promoted clubs get the top two, of course, who finish in the two clubs that finish in the top two, and then the playoff winners. Burnley would like to repeat their heroics of 2009 when they got to the Capital One semi-final, only to get within 2 minutes of that particular final. And having lost that match, they went on a very good run in the league, which got them into the 5th place in the playoffs. Beat Reading convincingly over 2 legs and beat Sheffield United, although by the 1 goal, but it was so convincing it could have been more in the final. £60 million they got that day. If they were to do the same again this year, it would be double that. And to a club like Burnley, that would be so huge. I remember Barry Kilby, the previous chairman, I remember him saying at the end when they got promoted in 2009, Vokes is going to get a yellow card, isn't he? No? Mr. Pawson has been reluctant to show yellow cards. Now, is it a foul on Hanley? Well, he's clipped him, but I have to say it's a little bit again theatrical. He's looking for it a little bit there, Hanley. I've got to say, I think one or two of the Blackburn players are just making a little bit of a dog's dinner of this. Remember, just to go back to what Barry Kilby was saying when they got promoted, that sets us up for the next 10 years. And a lot of Burnley fans have complained in the past, where's all the money gone? Obviously the relegation and stuff like that obviously increased a little bit. The parachute payments should have really seen them off, and they didn't really. Anyway, here's Vokes charging through the centre. Evans got across. Here's Arfield. Trippier trying to make a good overlap, but Arfield couldn't find him. But Burnley have got a free kick. So we're heading towards the last 10 minutes of this first half, and still we await goal number one in this compelling 100th East Lancs derby. And the cries of Burnley up around the ground. They have a real opportunity now if they can get a goal in the next 10 minutes before the break. What a fillip that could be. It's going to be Trippier to send this one in. Or is he going to shoot? Trippier with the right foot. And Jake Keane diving away to his left hand side was able to gather it in. I think it might have been going wide in any case. The right footed shot. It was from about 30 yards out. Struck it well. It was a similar one to the one he struck in the 5th minute, where it just whistled over the crossbar with not too much to spare. Been a very good first half, but yet a goal has not been yielded yet. Here's Kane from Blackburn. And Kane again, running down that side. Rose wants it in the middle. Jordan Rose now. With a right foot, good shot from Rose, but he's turned away brilliantly by Tom Eaton. He's not had a shot to save. It was Tom Kearney rather than Jordan Rose that had the shot there. Kane breaking away. Kearney hits it well. I'll give him credit there, but it would have been a total injustice if Blackburn had scored there, because they have been second best for most of that first half. Tom Eaton, who comes from a Burnley of Claret supporters. He has been a revelation in the goal. If you forget about the controversy down at Brighton, and I think he was probably on the wrong end of the decisions. And Burnley and Grant Hanley have been called to the referee, presumably for pushing and shoving in the penalty area. The referee's going to stand no nonsense today. I can rest assured that you with that. That'll be a battle just to keep your eye on in that penalty area, or to keep our eyes on. Here comes the corner in from the far side. There's a whistle gone. There is pushing by Blackburn players. Free kick. Scott down, the man penalised for the pushing and the shoving. And there we are. Tom Eaton has a bit of respite. So 0-0 it remains. That was the shot from Kearney. I've just seen a shot on the television screen there from Kearney, who hit it fairly well, but Tom Eaton had to stretch a little. He's not had too much to do up until then, Tom Eaton. And that's the sign of a quality goalkeeper, a quality man between the sticks, when he has so little to do for the first 26 minutes and then he has something big to do in the 37th. It just speaks volumes how good a goalkeeper. I would argue he's better than Lee Grant, and Lee Grant saved Burnley a few times last season. Lee Grant, who's signed a new deal at Derby County, back in his first club, Derby County. He was relegated from the Championship last year in a very poor Bristol City side. When the approach came from the Carrots, came on a free transfer, it should be said. But when he was offered the opportunity to come to Turf Moor, he was more than happy to take Burnley up on the offer. Here's Eaton with the clearance. And he's found Kitely there, who chested it down, but he was hustled out of it by two Blackburn players. Blackburn have won a free kick. And they're trying to take it from the wrong position. They're trying to gain extra yards. I don't like that at all. When teams try and gain an extra 10 or 15 yards, take it from the correct position. That's a joke what Blackburn were trying to do there. It's a derby game. Everyone's desperate for victories from both sides. But come on, a bit of fair play and a bit of common sense should really prevail, even in a derby game. Here's Duff now, back. Oh, that was a silly challenge on Jones by law. He's got to go. Yes, and about time as well. The referee couldn't take any more. And I'm not surprised he's booked players. He's going to start booking players now. That is ridiculous. That's petulant. It's stupid and it's ridiculous from Jason Lowe. And quite rightly deserves a yellow card for it. Ridiculous. The referee was right. And he was right to give Burnley a free kick inside their own half, just inside the centre circle, to be taken by Shackle with the left foot. Trying to pick out votes again. He's won another ball for the umpteenth time in the air, but cleared away again by Blackburn. Burnley clear it back into the Blackburn half, and it's going to have Sam Vokes heading into touch on the near side for a throw. We're approaching the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of the first period. 0-0. Burnley with maybe 3 presentable opportunities in the first half. Blackburn, who have only offered the one shot on target from Tom Kearney, that forced the save from goalkeeper Tom Eaton in the Burnley goal. Wearing an all yellow kit today. It's Kearney to Evans, back to King. Evans back to Kearney, now King. But just having a little spell of possession. As Kane tries to get the cross in, but it's charged down. Goal kick, the throw, trying to find Marshall. It wasn't a great one.
SkyBet Championship tomorrow. Reading against Brighton. Reading have beat the host so far this season, looking to get back into the Blackburn.
They play Birmingham City next at Turf Moor on Tuesday. Inside the last 5 minutes then at Turf Moor, 0-0. In the 100th East Lancashire derby. Full delayed commentary of this Lancashire derby. Next weekend we've got delayed commentary on the Manchester version, United versus City. And what a game that's going to be that at Eastlands at the Etihad Stadium. And we'll be in position for full delay coverage of that one. I can assure you that. David Moyes and Manuel Pellegrini's first taste of that particular derby. And of course, we've got England coming up in the coming weeks as they take on Montenegro and Poland for a place in next year's World Cup in 2014. We'll have commentary of selected games from that as well. Probably have about 30 games from the World Cup next year. Full delayed commentaries of them. What promises to be a beautiful, beautiful tournament in Brazil. And we're going to have it with Jones. Folks flicks on. Arfield back to Marnie. Marnie midway inside the Blackburn Rovers half. Plays it back to his central midfield partner Dave Jones. Cuts out again by the Blackburn defence. Shackle plays the ball back in, but it's cleared again by Blackburn. We're inside the last couple of minutes of the first half. Well, near the last couple of minutes of the first half. Shackle coolly back to Dean Marnie. That was brilliantly played. Man on and ball back to Tom Eaton. Jordan Rose slips over. He wants a free kick. He's not going to get one in a month for Sundays. Get up. Get up, says Mike Duff, and he's quite right to say that. John Rose has been lucky for one or two of them throughout the first half. Arfield trying to play the ball forward, but there was no Burnley players within touching distance, and it's back with Jake Keane once again. And he looks a very frustrated guy out there, Jordan Rhodes. Quite right as well. He's had nothing to speak of. He's had no service because Burnley have been very tight and very mean in defence, and quite rightly so. Duff and Shackle have not given anything, and I can remember, away to Jordan Rhodes at the moment. Burnley have looked so comfortable in possession, it's untrue. Flick on by Jones to Ings. Ings turns well. Danny Ings shoots and just gets the bar. Probably just misses it by a couple of inches, but he certainly looked as if it was clipping the bar from where I saw it on the television screen. I'm just going to look at a replay and see how far that was. We've got to see this from another angle from the reverse end. He's curled it. It's hit the stanchion behind the goal, in fact, rather than the crossbar. But it was so close. We're inside the last 30 seconds of the first half of normal time, and then after that, after them 30 seconds, we'll get the fourth official's verdict on how much injury and stoppage time there will be added. As Duff clears away to touch for a Blackburn corner. Boos for the Blackburn player taking the corner. Burnley fans, if they score from this, it'll be some injustice. It's going to be Marshall, number 12, to take the corner here for Blackburn. 1 minute to be added on at the end of this first half. And what a first half it has been. And he's going to have a word again for pushing and shoving. Jason Shackle and Scott Dan being called across. In fact, the two skippers just been told this. Everybody inside that 6-yard box. There must be at least Marshall, and there was pushing and shoving. I think there was a foul on Tom Heaton. He's flying towards his arm. So Blackburn are just being stupid with these pushing and shoving. Referees obviously clamping down on them, and quite rightly so. Well, we should see the end of the first half now. Burnley have had 3 great opportunities. Kearney's probably come closest for Blackburn. But for now, goals at half time. Tom Eaton's made the save with the first half so far, but it would have been a total injustice if Blackburn had scored on that occasion. Burnley have had 2 or 3 great opportunities. Tiffany has come 12 with 2 free kicks. But at half time in the derby match, full debate commentary of this derby is still goalless at half time, and we'll be back for the second half in just a minute or two's time. 0-0 in the 100th East Lancashire derby. We'll be back. We'll be back after half time.